Well, Beijing considers Taiwan to be a province of China and one that it will retake by force if necessary. Taiwan's current leaders maintain that they are a sovereign state with no need to declare independence. Now, obviously, these two positions are irreconcilable, and as Xi Jinping has made taking Taiwan or reunifying Taiwan a key goal of his term, tensions have really ramped up over the last few years, and so we've seen a lot more military activity from China, including these PLA flights into Taiwan's defense zone. They've increased to near daily frequency over the last 2 years. And then over just the last 4 days, we saw almost 150 jets, which just broke all kinds of records.
What's been the feeling in Taiwan every time a plane is sent by China to fly there?
Well, the thing about these flights is that because they are going into the defence zone and not into Taiwan's airspace, which is a separate area, or over its land territory, the first that people do hear about these flights is when they are reported by the Ministry of Defence, either late in the evening or the next morning. And now because these reports have become quite frequent, the ministry's Twitter account has become sort of part of people's daily newsfeed, and people are paying quite a lot more attention to this, particularly this week, as it's been so much more so much more dramatic. But on the ground here, this is a place that has, it's grown up with these tensions. It's grown up with this threat hanging over it. And so there isn't a sense of panic on the ground or a sense of urgency, although there is growing concern among people that a conflict could happen quite soon.
China might be capable of invading Taiwan by 2025, as the Defence Minister has pointed out. But the question is it likely to? What are the likely triggers?
This is one of sort of the most hotly debated parts of the topic. So the minister did say today that he felt China had the capability to invade now, but that it would have the ability to launch a full-scale invasion by 2025. Now, comparatively to other analysts and even other Taiwanese military figures, that is quite a short timeline. But as you say, that there is a capability. The other question is the intention. Now, a lot of analysts will say that this is such a key goal of Xi Jinping for China that failure isn't really an option. And so there is a sense that if they do intend to launch an invasion or an attack on Taiwan, they want to be very certain that it's going to be successful. And so the main game, I guess, or the main goal of Taiwan and those that support it is to create a deterrence. And so that's how we see Taiwan boosting its military defences. It's making a lot of large weapons purchases from the US to the tunes of billions of dollars. And it is also developing what is called a porcupine strategy, or like an asymmetric defence system, as a way to deter China taking this kind of action.
I guess it reflects just how concerned leaders in Taiwan are. How have they had to alter their strategy in recent years, do you think?
We've seen quite a lot of stronger language this week in particular. President Tsai Ing-wen wrote on Wednesday that Taiwan stands ready to defend itself against any attacks on its existence. But she also said that Taiwan will not be adventurous, that it has no wish for conflict. Its goal is to maintain the current status quo. And so what she's been doing in particular over her term and a half that she's been in power is really seek out international relationships. Most countries do not recognise Taiwan as a sovereign state, but what Tsai has been doing is forming these unofficial friendships with countries, including places like the US and Australia, many Eastern European countries. And then as these other countries have grown increasingly concerned with China's activity in the region, not just towards Taiwan, but also in places like the South China Sea, that in turn has motivated them to become more involved as well. And so this is where we see so much activity now in the region, with a lot of other countries, including from Europe and the US, sending their military presences to the region.
Lastly, Helen, former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott is in Taiwan at the moment. What can you tell us about his visit?
That's right. Mr. Abbott arrived yesterday as a bit of a surprise visit to everybody who's here. He's arrived in a private capacity. The Australian government says he's travelling in a private capacity. He is scheduled to give the keynote address at a Asian Regional Dialogue Forum on Friday. But the 9 newspapers also reported today that, citing government sources, that he will also be seeking to boost the relationship between Australia and Taiwan as Scott Morrison deals with the deteriorating relations with China back home. So it's quite a significant visit. He's a former head of government, and today he met with Foreign Minister Joseph Wu. Tomorrow he is scheduled to meet with the president. So it is a very significant visit, but we will hear more from his speech on Friday. And my understanding is that there will be further media opportunities for him as well.
Helen Davidson, good to talk. Thanks so much.
Thank you.